You made a joke.
Well, I believe we are now alive. We're going to talk about all sorts of delightful things. Hello, Bunny Button. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, not too shabby, not too shabby. There we go. The crowds are a-banging. Welcome to Madhouse, my delightful friends. But you gotta bang a little more. You keep a knocking, but that's not enough love, baby. Not enough love.
Bang, bang! The U.S. wants its citizens to bang more. You hear about that? Yeah, America wants more kids, more children to get to banging. It's bang, chat.
Somebody's got to work in the factories. Bunny, do it, Bunny, get
I'm doing it.
Bang, bang. To the room. You know I got it.
Hey, there's the Solar. Okay, now we got Solar Edge's statue in, but now we obviously have our window cameras fucked up. We'll have those fixed tomorrow. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Madhouse. It's nice to see everybody. Here we are right here with... Let me move this thing down because it's...
Am I coming?
No,
Nope.
I have to redo that.
I'm dropping them off.
You're not... Well, we're going to put new things on the gurney tomorrow. I wasn't able to do it just quite yet today because we were doing a bunch of other stuff today. But we will have new gurney participants on there tomorrow. Also, don't worry about the red door, green door. There's no text yet. We're going to update it. We got some delightful surprises for you tonight. Welcome to the Madhouse, the best goddamn show on the internet television set. We appreciate you being here with us. I am Jaffe. That is Bunny Button up there. That is Tech Protect down there. It be indeed. Now, Bunny, what's with the green nose? I like this, but it's new. It looks like... Do you have elf ears on tonight?
No, it's my little bow.
Oh, I thought you had a little elf ear going.
I know it looked like it. When I sat down here, I was like, oh, I look like an elf.
You do. So what's the green? Oh, bless you. So this is when Bunny's like, look, I'm going out after this fucking show. I don't have time to take all this fucking makeup. You goddamn right. You goddamn right. Talk about briefly before we get the show started. What the fuck happened? You were talking about green body paint before we started. Explain it. What do you want to do now?
I was saying, I used to do these shows. I did body paint shows, but we don't have to do body paint.
Well, I don't even know what that means. I know what body paint is, but what is body paint shows with the green? I don't understand.
We should do it. We should do it.
I would do it all during my cam shows, so I would be completely naked doing it, and I would paint over myself with only green paint, and I would have my green screen behind me, and then it would key out all the green on my body, and it looked really cool. I'd do really trippy moving backgrounds.
But so part of you would start to disappear.
Yeah, like I would do like spirals all over my body, so it looked like I was ribbon. Like, cool stuff.
We should do it the opposite though, where it's like you start rubbing it off, so you appear, and people pay for you to appear.
Oh yeah, I did do one time where it was just my head. I painted my whole body green. And I was just a floating head the whole time. So.
That's pretty fun. Look. I would not know. I've never watched your cam girl footage. Wasn't aware of it when you were doing it. With all the shit, you had a puppet, like a little emerald or Ernest little puppet that looked like an ostrich or an emu. You had little heads floating around everywhere. I don't know if I could get aroused by your cam girl show. I'd show up thinking...
a lot of people said that.
I'd show up thinking I'm gonna have a nice little time with myself in the computer screen, and then it feels like I'm watching, the girl Pee Wee Herman or something.
Yeah.
Not a bad thing. Not a bad thing, but...
Yeah, Pee Wee Herman got mentioned a lot. A lot of people would say that. People would say my cam shows were like nothing they had ever seen before. Like, they were like, this is the craziest thing I'd ever seen. I'd been nominated for Most Creative Cam Girl a couple times.
Well, that does not surprise me. But now let me ask you, did you find that when you cam girled with that persona and that kind of creativity, were you shooting ahead of the other cam girls because it was so interesting, or did a lot of people say, Hey, it's like plotting a porno. It's like, I don't need the puppet lady. I just want to see the vag, right? I mean, what was the...
No, me doing weird stuff, it pushed me to the top of the site, to the front of the top. I was always up at the top.
Wow.
So, yeah. I think because it was just so weird, people were like, what the hell is this? Because you get the little preview, like you can hover your cursor over it and it'll show the little preview. So people were like, what the hell is this? I dress like Ace Ventura a lot. I did that a lot.
I can do weird all day. I should cam girl. I would make a show. I mean, it was so fun. There's nothing titillating about it, but I'd make a lot of money. So, but you had brought up, so Tech has a green screen. I have a green screen. Shut up, Peachy Pie. I'm not too vanilla. He says, Jaffe too vanilla, it seems. No.
You are kind of vanilla.
I'm not vanilla. What I'm saying is, if I go to a cam girl, I'm not necessarily, it wouldn't occur to me to go, you know what I'm in the mood for tonight? A woman who's just a head floating around. That's not being vanilla. That's just me going.
I think I pied myself in the face that night too. So it got I still got the fetish thing in there because I had a lot of pie guys. There are a lot of guys that were into pies.
Now here's the deal. For the sake of the audience, I'm going, wait, you're telling me there's a fetish for pie? But of course there's a fetish for pie.
Yeah.
But is it just pie or is it the humiliation factor of face in the stuff?
It's called splashing or wham, wet and messy.
Okay.
It's the getting dirty and messy and sticky.
Okay, so it could be a pie, a cake, a pit of...
Yeah. Oh my gosh, one time I did corn syrup and I mixed a bunch of glitter in it and it was probably one of the coolest things I'd ever done, but I just poured it all over myself, all in my hair. It was everywhere. It was so sticky.
I mean, do you have these saved somewhere where people, because this sounds, I mean, I kind of don't.
Yeah, I got them all.
I would feel awkward. I don't want to watch you doing that. But at the same time, maybe if there's a part where you're not totally naked or something, I could, because I'm just I have to see what this is.
This is the vanilla part, Jaffe.
It's not. No, this is the choosing not to be sitting in a court of law being accused of sexual harassment part.
Nah.
When you work with people, right? This is not like I met Bunny out on the street and I'm like, dude, that's so fucking hot. You got to share that with me. We're colleagues. We're working together. I feel like
the first one is worse. I feel like the, hey, what up? You're so fucking hot, dude. That's the worst one. It's like hey, we're entertainers. Show us what your previous entertainment portfolio looks like. That's totally normal.
Yeah.
Okay, but when the woman's taking her clothes off and fighting a puppet and getting pies in the face,
you're the one making it weird.
No, she's making it weird by putting corn syrup and glitter and puppets all over her body. And being naked.
All right. Bunny, would you be offended if you saw a video of me in a bathtub with it's essentially 13 gallons of maple syrup?
I'd be worried.
That's art. That's art. The French think so.
Okay.
That's my biggest demographic was the French.
Okay, but let's okay, just, you know what? You guys are a bunch of fucking idiots, okay? I'm looking at the chat. Listen. And what's funny is Tech likes to kind of fly his credentials like, oh, I worked in corporate, blah, blah, blah. Out of all of us, you can't tell me you weren't pulled aside with all the management and gone, look, it's a new day, folks. You can't make people feel uncomfortable. You can't make,
out of all of us, I would have thought, you were probably pulled aside by PR more often.
Never.
No, it was probably me. I got pulled over a number of times.
The only time I ever did anything, and April Cool will come back to you because April Cool says feeling so stressed out. We don't like that. We want to take care of you, our friend, but we'll get back to you in a minute. But
hey, Jaffe, can you send me money, please, please?
No.
I gotta read what King TL said. He said Jaffe and Tease play non-nude content. I can see that.
I don't even know what that is. Maybe I'm into it and I don't know it. I didn't even know I could put those words together in
Fully
Google.
Clothed women. They're just teasing you.
Are you telling me there is a category called Tease play non-nude content?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. On most cam sites, there's a non-nude section where it's literally just girls sitting and talking and flirting.
Isn't that Twitch?
Completely clothed.
That's true.
Well, yeah.
That's also true. But
cam sites were doing it first.
So was the news. I mean, a woman just sitting there talking to you. Anyway,
$5 from K Nubs. I couldn't watch Bunny Cam. I couldn't watch Bunny Cam right now with Raggedy Ann getup on account of my parents having those dolls everywhere while I grew up.
Yeah, absolutely.
It would remind you of home. It should be, nice.
Remind you of fucking Annabelle is what it would remind you of, because the actual Annabelle is a Raggedy Ann doll.
I can't believe you've never been pulled into fucking PR or like HR, dude. No. I had a coworker.
Why would I? I'm a good guy. I respect women. It doesn't mean that I don't want to flirt with women and I don't want to talk nasty to women, but not when I'm working with them.
When I was like this corporate manager guy, right?
Yeah.
I had another person at my level working for another department. They gave me a gift for my birthday, and it was a Harry Potter one, because they were like, "You look like a Harry Potter nerd," and I was like, "I've never seen any of the fucking films." They're like, "You look like one though." And then someone was like, "Oh, cast a spell on Tech Protect, grant him his wish," and the guy, without skipping a beat, goes, "I cast Bigotus Dickicus," and he like pointed at my cock, dude, and I was like, "Yeah, hell yeah." But people were around, and they were like, "Tech Protect, you can't promote that, okay? If that happens, you got to tell them publicly, hey, don't say those kind of things in the workplace." But, I was just like, hell yeah, dude. Wouldn't that be nice?
I mean,
Bigotus Dickicus.
Look, back when I started at Sony, I've told this story many times, but I hired a stripper to come in for my boss's 40th birthday party. I mean, it was a different time. But now, it does make a lot of sense. It's like, anyway, all I'm saying is
that was 2017. Yeah.
The minute Bunny quits, I'm heading straight to her site. But while we're working together, I ain't looking at it. It doesn't seem respectful.
It's very professional of you, Jaffe.
I want people to feel comfortable working with me.
That's vanilla.
It's not vanilla. Maybe the fact that I don't sexualize her because she laid in bed with me in the haunted hotel and was farting all night. It's hard to have a hard-on for a woman who farts like a goddamn steam engine.
That content was gas.
You were farting. I swear to God, I thought you were going to I thought you were going to take off. I was worried that
I watched that whole thing over again, and I did not.
I think we need to go back to it.
I would have clipped it if I did.
Tech, remind me tomorrow to
we'll go through.
Remind me
to the video.
Remind me to go through, and then I'm going to add some little fart clouds coming out of Bunny's butt.
Bunny, you don't even understand. Jaffe was like, "What are the dimensions of this room?" And then he was like Googling how much gas comes out of a fart, and then he was like, "I wonder what percentage of the room was Bunny fart gas versus air."
It was a lot, Bunny. It was a lot.
It was a lot.
I did not.
At first, I was like,
though.
I thought somebody had died in the room.
Not me.
Honestly. Listen. But Jaffe is vanilla confirmed. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I don't have a problem being vanilla or not, but there's a difference between being.
It's okay.
I know it's okay, but I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not, Bunny. I'm not.
It's okay.
I know, but I'm not. No, I'm not. Yeah. Shut up.
No
idiot.
fun allowed.
You know what? Y'all fuck yourselves. Is what you guys can do. I'm gonna go hire the freakiest fucking sex. I mean, I've been to sex workers before. I've told people about it. People are like, can you believe Jaffe went to a
what'd you do with them though?
Well, what do you think I did? We did a puzzle and we colored.
I know, but
what do you think I did
but like, was it just like vanilla sex? Like, what'd you do?
There was a couple of them in the brothel, and I partook in a couple of things. I'll tell you about it off camera. It doesn't. My children watch this show sometimes. My children watch this show. Right, so look at Bud Crazy. Well, that's just a bit too much in my opinion, King. Right, sorry. Oh, he's talking to actual King. Sorry. I'm going to pretend it's for me, though, because I can have content out of it. Sorry. But yeah, I have people online who literally judge me because I've said that before. No. Now that I will tell you, Peachy Pie says she peed on him. Confirmed. No. I had a stripper at a party once for me, and they were going to do golden showers, and I said, yeah, I don't think so. That was not me being vanilla. I didn't know what a golden shower was. I was 19, going to USC. My buddy got me 2 strippers. They had a pool in the middle of the hotel suite, and I thought, oh, this is great. We're going to do mud wrestling or something. And suddenly they're like, okay, we're going to pee on you now. No, you're not. You're not pissing on me. But that's if that makes
fun.
You'll never know if you like it until you try it, Jaffe.
I don't want to. Oh God, you guys! I don't want to swallow a bag of glass either. But I would. Tech, have you ever been pissed on before intentionally?
Yeah.
I tell you, he has. I can tell by just his.
But why?
You never Okay,
we're not talking about being in the shower with somebody you're with, and she happens to pee and go, haha, gotcha.
No, not happens to pee. Like, yeah, go ahead and pee. Let's see how it is.
Yeah, lay down in the shower. That's
Why not lay down? No, it's like
For,
calf
why
area.
Why don't you open your fucking mouth next time, Tech? There's no limit for you.
There's a limit for me.
Debaucher as fuck.
Here's a question for limits, because you're like, oh, professional. When Bunny leaves, I'm gonna get all of her goon videos. But for me, the hottest girls in high school, it was like a pair of two, right? They were the queens of the high school. They had all the guys, right? We graduated, and like the week after graduation, it was like, I've started my OnlyFans, and they like did it together. Everybody instantly. It was like the graduating class of like 200 plus.
Yes.
Right. Like the week they announced it, it was like 200 new subscribers to the OnlyFans.
I would not.
All the seniors.
I would not do that. I wish I knew girls that I went to college with that had OnlyFans pages. I have no idea. I have no way, because they don't use their real names, so I don't really.
Oh, they did.
Well, mine, I've never seen. The closest I got was a woman I was very hot woman went to school with, was in a soft porn movie. One of the red.
You directed?
One of the Red Shoe Diary. She was in a movie I directed, by the way. But no, after college, she was in a Red Shoe Diary episode, and then she also was in the first season of The Apprentice, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, but that's as close as I ever got. Yeah, and don't tell me just to lay a tarp down. It's not that I'm worried about cleaning up. I have pee pads I can use from the dog. I'm not worried about how to clean up the urine. I just don't I don't want it on me.
You know what you should get, Jaffe?
No.
They have these like inflatable bed toppers that have like little bumpers on the side, and you can just use as much oil as you want, or peanut butter, or piss. You can just fill it up. Bunny knows what I'm talking about, right, Bunny? You know what I'm talking about? The black one? Yeah, it has a little inflatable. Yeah, it's for like your milk videos, I would imagine.
Yeah, I did a watermelon crawl on 4th of July every year.
You know what? I know a lot of I don't know what the fuck that is. What the fuck do you mean a watermelon
I just like that the terms already exist. Well, it's a watermelon crawl is what it was, really.
If you drink, don't drive. Do the watermelon crawl. You don't know.
First off, you didn't speak English in that last sentence. Yeah, don't drive. Get a water claw. Yeah.
Say if you drink, don't drive. What? Some people know. People know.
No idea what you said.
Anyway,
it sounded like you're making crawfish currently.
Well, I would get a bunch of watermelon and break it up, crush it up, and then put on an American flag bikini, and crawl in the watermelon. It's literally what it sounds like.
Okay, so we have 2 hours to fill, and we spend a lot of the day prepping to fill it. Your cam girl show was how long on average?
Sometimes I'll go for like 4 or 5 hours.
Okay, and your whole thing, you showed up with some watermelons in a pool, and you can make 4 hours of content out of that.
Oh, yeah. Most of it was me eating the watermelon. I would sit there and just eat it.
You know what? Here's the deal.
I made a lot of money doing it.
I bet you did. I don't even care anymore. Tech, when you get to California, this is what we're going to do. I do not give a
watermelon
fuck.
Crawls?
No. We are going to start and I don't care if anyone's done it before. No one's done it the way we would do it, especially with my background and knowledge. We are going to hire 3 very attractive females. I don't give a fuck what they know about video games. I will be in their earpiece the whole time, and the whole show is just them being naked and wrestling around and delivering the video game news. I mean, we would make so fucking much money. Bunny, do you know 3 women that we could work with that if they were respected and paid well, they would do that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, can we disrespect them and pay them poorly?
Where would
I know a couple of those.
What channel? We'd have to go on a cam girl site, right? Is what it would be.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be like, okay, you can do your show. We don't really care what it is. We just want X%.
Yeah, we'll be pimps.
That's okay. I don't care. I don't care. It's like, can you imagine these sexy hot women wrestling and stuff? And then it's like, okay.
We could start a studio.
Then it's like, okay, Janine, okay, you have to guess the opening sales for Assassin's Creed Shadows. And if it's higher than what Debbie thought, then you have to take off a piece of clothing. And if they're totally naked, we'll do all kinds of... This is the best...
we could do...
Thank you, folks. That's been Bad House. We're done. We're going off to plan this.
We solved it. That's where the money's going.
I mean, my goodness. We would make all the money. How much money? All of it. All of it. ID Pie, thank you for being a member for 24 months. He says, Jaffe, do you ever ponder on how many of your subscribers are dead? No, I do think about the fact that people do listen to this show in the car, and I wonder sometimes if ours are the last voices they hear before they get in a terrible automobile accident and die. Shut up, idiot.
That's so much darker.
It's much better. Also, make some more videos. I don't want to make videos right now. I'm streaming, Eddie Pie, but thank you, buddy. I appreciate it.
I'm gonna say my thoughts. I always think, who's gooning right now? Or like, who's watching this back and doing it with someone? Or doing it live with someone. And they're just like, mid-pump, and they're like, Bunny said a thing funny. Yeah, they're typing.
Yeah, it's absolutely. It's kind of like, put on Madhouse. But, honey, it's date night. Put it on. You'll get something special.
There are some things that you have sex to every time it's on, It's like a thing.
I just wonder if we're that for some people, though.
Tell me what that is, Bunny.
Yeah.
What are those things?
Hostel. Well, any of the Hostel
movies.
Well,
okay, just, God, I didn't know they made people like you. Wait a minute. What was that noise you just made? What was that? Oh, my. Wait a minute. The Hostel movies are torture porn movies.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit. So what is it? Are you with your intimate special someone and you're waiting for a certain scene, or do you jump forward to the scene? Or
no, I'm not a psycho. It's just when the movie's on. It's just the movies.
It gets you in the mood.
Whatever. It's just what it is. What it is.
No. I've seen these movies. I need to understand. Is it that they're on in the background and you're like, man, there's something hot about fantasizing that you're one of these captives in the hostel, or do you want to do the torture, or is it just the lighting and the mise-en-scene of the cinematographer?
It's the lighting. It's the direction of the film.
It's the blocking. It's how the camera moves effortlessly through the blood. I understand. Yeah, I understand. Tyler says, I wonder if anyone bangs while watching reruns of the Golden Girls. Can you imagine? Yes, I can imagine.
Probably.
It's like, oh shit, here comes Estelle Getty.
The cat gaming wants me to striptease so bad.
Yeah, you know what? No, dude. Oh, that guy. Now listen. All he ever does is that. And I don't know what to tell you. Hello, Jojo D. Good to see you. Hey, Bunny, do me a favor, Jojo D. Mm-hmm. Or Tech, whichever one of you guys wants to do it. Jojo D is a long time supporter of this channel for many years, financially, creatively, a big part of our community. Could you just give Jojo D his very own cooter flap? I would appreciate it.
Yes.
Thank you. Let me get your big screen. Hang on.
Go ahead, Tech.
No.
Okay, he looked like he was about to do it.
Oh, he's so into himself. I love that he thought that he was the one. No, wait. No. Let's give him
big old, nice and juicy cooter flap. How's it going, Jojo D? All right, Benny, it's your turn.
That was so sultry.
No.
Yeah. That's who I am.
Okay, yeah. That's great. I bet he feels special.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
All right. Well,
it's me.
Are we getting one, Bunny, or no way? No way.
Nothing? Yeah. No, I'll top his.
All right, I bet you will. Come on.
You'll top?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jojo, Mr. Jojo D, cooter flaps.
Dude, that man just had a heart attack. He just had a heart attack. Where are we at on the red door? I want to say what our doors are tonight, folks. Rob the Mod says we did lose a subscriber in a car crash a few years back. Really?
Oh no!
I didn't know that. Hey, Jojo says thanks, guys. I'm almost there. You goddamn right, sir. You goddamn right. Bud says he's wet. Absolutely. Hello, Toe Beans. Now look, the red door. I don't know if you noticed, but Solar Edge got his statue. Sadly, we had to say goodbye to our friends who won the last game, Canty, Frog, and Mooch. We have 2 more statues to give out. Tech, tell them about the red door and how we're doing it, and then I'll tell them about the very special gold door and green door tonight.
Well. Our red door today is definitely a thing we discussed previously, and I did not forget.
It was the wheel. It was the wheel and the statue.
Oh yeah.
Come on, it was your fucking idea.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, I don't remember. It was not the documentary thing.
It's $5. Go on the wheel for every $5.
Oh, now I remember. Thank you. I got it. Here you go. All right. Every donation before the red door opens, for every $5 or above, you get an entry on the wheel, right? And when we unlock the door, we will roll a wheel to select a name for. Go ahead, Jaffe.
For a new statue that'll go up tomorrow. Or the
next.
What do you mean? But now, where are we right now, Tech? We've just started,
$5.
$5 in. All right, come on, you guys, because look, you're gonna want to donate tonight. We got some special shit coming down the road.
Right now, it's just K-Nubs.
It's just K-Nubs. K-Nubs is the man. Now, listen, the green door tonight. I want to show you what this is, fellas, because this is some neat stuff. I'm excited for this. As some of you guys know, we did the we did the movie festival the other day. Well. Tonight, we are announcing, not this weekend, but next weekend. It's a much smaller film festival, and it's a very different kind of film festival. Let me show you what we're talking about. Whoa, that's not right. That's just code. I don't know why that came up as code. Anyway, here's what we're talking about. Not this coming weekend, but the next weekend, we are going to have a weird as fuck documentary film festival, right? So it's not going to be 12 hours. It's going to be like 3 to 5 movies, and they're not all super duper long, but they're really weird documentaries. Okay. So like, I'll give you an example of some of the ones we've got planned. Right now, I very much would like to hope the Age of Disclosure, which is the big, alien UFO documentary. They haven't quite announced it, but it sounds like this may be coming any day. We will definitely be showing this one though. This one is called Interview with a Cannibal. This is what it's about. The case against, I think you say his name, Hughes, was complicated by the victim's complete willingness to serve as the subject of his savagery. This is the guy who, put an ad out in the paper and said, I want someone to come here to my home. I will fuck them. And then I will cook them and eat them. Right. So the cannibal in waiting posted an ad on a website calling for an adult male who would volunteer for slaughter and consumption. After a short time, an engineer by the name of Armando Brandes agreed. He captured every step of the gruesome act on video in its entirety. He sliced, stored, and froze portions of the body and commenced to feeding upon him for a period of months. The filmmakers catch up with him in prison, where he's serving a life sentence, right? So we actually are going to watch, and again, this is why it's not 12 hours. This documentary is very homegrown. It's a 50-minute video. It's a 50-minute documentary. But then we're also going to watch, there's one somebody sent me, which is only 20 minutes, 6 extremely compelling Bigfoot photos, and it's like a 20-minute movie. So we haven't figured out what actual movies are going to go in the shock documentary, but that will be coming up not this weekend, but next weekend, if we get the door open. And if we get the door open, I think we're going to commit to 2 films, and we'll add more later. To get that door open this evening, my delightful delinquents, I believe that cost is what, Tech?
For the green door?
Yeah.
That is going to... So once we open the red door, that'll be at $150.
Yeah. No, 100. Oh, you mean the green door is 150?
Yeah.
Now, starting tonight, Madhouse becomes a very tight. Wink. Madhouse becomes a very tight 2-hour show. It's all going to stay focused on us talking and the topics and the chat and all that. But we still want to do our after party. So every night, if we get the gold door open, we are going down into the cellar of the Madhouse. This is going to be streamed on YouTube. It will be in the Discord in an event about 15 minutes after the show ends. The Madhouse show ends. People can jump in, call. It's very shoot the shit. A lot of phone calls, a lot of not structured at all. Who knows what we'll talk about. And it will also be a separate show that will be on YouTube. If you don't have a Discord or don't like Discord, you can still keep watching and chatting on the YouTube. So that is what is happening also. So be aware. Be aware. Those are tonight's gifts and goals and whatnot. Tech, Mooch just popped in some 5s. Thank you for the super chat, Mooch. He's trying for another statue. Absolutely.
Mooch.
What's that? You got it on the wheel? You're putting them on the wheel?
Yep, got on the wheel.
Okay, and keep track of the numbers. I'll add them in a second.
Yes,
The phone tonight. We're going to do Discord calls. We still haven't resolved that, April. But definitely, yes, calls on Discord. We'd love for you to call in. Absolutely. Okay. Shut up, Darth Nugget. I'll fucking murder you in your sleep. Now, I also want to show you a couple of things before we get to the two big topics of the night. And yes, everybody, thank you, bud. Like the show, subscribe to the show. We would appreciate it. It would be nice. Now, a lot of you guys know how much I love AI content. I love its potential. I love it for games. I love it for movies, all of this shit. Yeah. Do you guys read fan fiction, or have you ever read fan fiction?
Yeah.
I have.
I like it.
Okay. I have never read fan. It's just never appealed to me. I've never, whatever. I'm very vanilla.
And I was in middle school.
Okay.
Very vanilla.
Not as an adult.
Okay. Well, no, I mean, some
I don't know.
Some people do, but some people still read it. But here's the point, though. I found my fan fiction, and it's through the power of AI. I had never known about this before. This is called Skywalker Stories, and I will not show you all of them, but this guy is basically using AI to tell stories from Star Wars that he's writing and from the comics. And it's, of course, obviously not perfect, and there are some bugs and whatnot, but I found myself watching like 30 minutes of these this week. And I would never watch fan fiction. It's the coolest fucking thing, man. And I think about it now, and I just think about, you're just, think 10 years from now, you're going to make your own fucking movies 10 years from now. It's just going to be, I want to see this movie with this actor go. It's the coolest fucking thing. What, is it a copyright? Yeah, but they don't care. I mean, it's fan fiction. If they can't, and Torres says it's bad fan fiction. Look, that depends on the writer. I mean, that's but I don't know. I think it's very, very cool. And the fact that this actually is pretty good if you like Star Wars, and I happen to like Star Wars, it's neat to see this particular story, because this is about Obi-Wan trying to pull him back and all the stuff, if you're into Star Wars. So I recommend it if you like this kind of stuff. I'm sure there will be more. I mean, look at that. I get it, it's AI, but we're pretty fucking close. Looks like Qui-Gon. All right, K-Nubs says, well, shit, we've wasted almost an hour. Shut up. We'll get there. You're going to love it. Anyway, I wanted to let you know that. I want to let you know this. Oh, my God. Have you guys seen this footage? This was this weekend. Lordy. This guy in China is parasailing. He gets caught up in a vortex that shoots him 28,000 feet in the sky. And he starts to freeze to death. But he doesn't die. I'm just going to show you this. It's eerie. Because it was part of a tour package or something. So they're filming it. And he survived. And this is the footage. This is amazing. Just shocking footage shows the moment he was sucked 5 miles up and endured a bone-chilling blah blah. Cloud suction 28,000 feet over China. All right, April, feel better, buddy. And I mean, I don't know what you're thinking in this case. I mean, if you look at his face, he's not mugging for the camera. He should have died, right? He's not saying goodbye to his family. He, at least in this footage, he's just kind of peacefully sitting there. He has massive frostbite. He could barely breathe. There was no oxygen tank with him. This is where the height that airplanes fly. Can you imagine being a goddamn airline pilot and flying and seeing this guy just floating up there? It's like, what the fuck? Yeah. I don't know if do you just meditate? It says he remained conscious throughout the whole thing. Do you just meditate through it and go, well, this is, because look how, I don't know if I'd be this peaceful.
I think I would be really still. I think I'd be trying not to move at all, like just for fear of somehow falling out.
Well, yeah, I suppose. I mean, I don't think he was in any danger of falling out. I think he probably thought, this is it for me. I'm gonna fucking this is how I'm gonna go out. I mean, what a way to go out, though. If you got to die, and you got to die, apparently, that's a pretty neat one. But can you imagine this frozen popsicle of a human just sort of slowly descending into your backyard? I mean, what the fuck am I looking at? I don't know. Yeah, Bud Crazy says landing in a school playground. Absolutely. Red Bull doesn't sponsor This Is a Sport. Why does it sound like a cat meowing? I don't know. I have absolutely no idea why that. I'm assuming it's just the wind and maybe the sound of the camera, moving back and forth. I have no clue. All right. This is, and listen.
I love this channel, by the way. Me and your daughter watch this channel all the time.
Okay. Mm-hmm. EWU body cam?
Yeah.
I don't even know what it is. It just came up. Is it just capturing predators and shit?
Yeah, it's like when criminals get caught and like their confessions or like the investigation process of like finding bad people.
Interrogation rooms.
You watch this, Bunny?
Yeah, Explore with Us.
Yeah, Explore with Us.
It is so it is so satisfying to
catch bad guys.
To watch the pedophiles get caught, or the predators. Yeah. I don't even know what this means. Cops find man with dementia in a dismembered body. I understand that and a dismembered body, but in a dismembered body? I don't know. Anyway, though, point being, we talk about how stupid today's kids are. And they are. Maybe they're not. That sounds like such a generational thing to say, but they're so dumb. Here's how I know.
Yeah.
Here's a story. Over 40% of kids in a U.S. study thought bacon was a plant. I'm not fucking with you. I fucking love science. The majority of these kids believe cows, pigs, and chickens are inedible. 77% of these stupid motherfuckers in this particular test just see cows on the side of the road as they're driving by and go, what, a fat horse? I mean, what do they think is out there? I don't understand.
It's a fat horse.
It's a fat horse.
A study has found 4 to 7 year olds. Okay, 4 I get, 7 no. From the U.S. believe hot dogs, hamburgers, and bacon come from plants.
It's kind of cute knowing how young they are, though. I thought maybe they were older. Okay.
The article,
cute.
The article also clarifies they're not. Like if you scroll up, it says they think they're plants.
Oh, they're not.
Spoiler.
Yeah.
They're not.
They're not.
It says cheese was misidentified as a plant-based cheese. 41% believe bacon came from a plant. Popcorn and almonds were misclassified, each by more than 30% of kids as coming from animals. I don't know what to tell you. We're a stupid fucking country. What do you think of this guy? You saw this. This footage was everywhere yesterday.
Before we hit play.
Yeah.
Thank you, Drive-By Joe, for the awoga eyes and the bunny emoji.
Thank you, buddy.
And then JRob8420, a little late, but the news story you cited earlier about the cannibal who put the in the paper.
I did.
Look at the song and music video for Mein Teil by Rammstein.
Yeah.
The lyrics are all about that story.
I haven't heard the song, but I absolutely heard about that song was written all about that. So they might cover it in the documentary, but yeah, that's pretty interesting. J-Rob, thank you, by the way, for super chat. He's going on the wheel twice. Drive-By's going on once. Mooch is on, and K-Nubs is on as well. Okay.
Got them
all right. I don't think these kids are trolling evil. This is the real fucking deal. These kids are just stupid. This right here, I believe, is the president of France, right? Macron is the guy's name.
Mm-hmm.
And they're trying to tell us that him and his wife, and I don't really give a shit, frankly, but here's the video if you haven't seen it. That's them getting off the plane, and look at him. Look at him. Totally just changes now. And now they're saying, "Oh, we were just quote horsing around."
He looks at her like, "Oh, he's like, get it."
Well, I don't think she's about to get it. I think that she is. I think that that's probably the relationship, which is fine. But what's interesting about it is, I mean, it was enough for me, like the little that we care about what we thought we cared about. When Trump says grab him by the pussy, right? Or the fact that his wife doesn't even sleep in the White House 95% of the time. Or the fact that we know he's fucked other women while he was president. And you think back and you go, was all of the brouhaha over Clinton and the blowjob performative, or were we just different back then? Because when I see this, I think it's funny, but I don't give a fuck if they have a shit relationship. I mean, but this used to be disqualifying. And so is it healthy? Is it good now that we just see them as these just normal people and we don't really put them on those pedestals? Or, I don't know. Or is this in America, this would be disqualifying if he was a Democrat, probably maybe a Republican. But I do think a lot of the Republicans like that Trump is like, yeah, he's fucking around with his wife. Who gives a shit? Yeah, she doesn't sleep in the same bed half the time. Neither does my wife. Right? I mean, yeah, he says grab him by the pussy. I say that all the time, right? I mean, what?
Sorry. Thank you, Drive by Joe, for the 5 gifted members.
Oh, thank you, Drive by Joe. Oh,
thank you.
We were doing members for something, weren't we, Tech? We were doing members for the Green Door. Is what we were. I don't remember, but for tonight,
we'll talk about it later. Yeah.
But I don't know. I just wonder. Do you think that this is we've just changed, or do you think we've changed and that it doesn't bother us now, or we've changed and that it never really bothered us? We're just now okay admitting that nobody really gives a shit. We just want our team to win.
Yeah, I think that if people see other people being upset about it, then they will. And I guess it just depends on what social media is saying about it, is what I assume.
What do you think this says? Do you think his wife beats him up and he's just has to take it and he's put upon? Or do you think he's about to go smack the shit out of her? Like what it looks like you're saying. Because he clearly...
His expression, look at his expression. Like, it just completely drops from smiling at everybody to like, okay, back to this.
Yeah, maybe
but I feel like they just don't have a good relationship. Maybe they were just arguing and things got, I don't know.
Yeah, because
used to it.
Yeah, and if they were actually just horsing around, you'd think, well, why even wave at that point, right? Because it would be, if he's going to go back to horsing around, it's almost like he feels like this was the performative thing. Now I'm going to go back to shoving my wife. I don't know. Maybe this is like I don't know. He met his wife at 15. She was 30. Wait. He was 15 years old and she was 39? Holy shit.
No way. I gotta look that up.
Holy shit.
That's wild.
Okay. But thank you, Drive By Joe. Absolutely, 100%. I'm going to hate fucker is what he's thinking, says Bud. Could be.
Maybe.
Sakura says, did you see Becky over on Lolcow quit today? I don't watch those shows anymore. No. And again, we were being told that Becky said she wanted to come over here. We'd love to have Becky, but we can't officially offer her anything. My guess is she didn't quit. My guess is she's...
Whoa.
What happened?
What?
Marcone met his wife, Brigitte Tongenay, when he was a 15-year-old student at Providence High School. She was a teacher. He was not in her class, but they met while he was working on a school play together.
So she was 39?
She was 39 when he was 15.
So how old are they now?
Marcone, let's see.
Stoss says maybe he just knows the optics is bad and looking at her like, now look what you've done. I don't know.
She was born in 53. What does that make her, like 70 something?
I don't know.
He's 47.
Maybe they got one of those like mommy kind of relationships. Maybe she's...
I don't even want to think about it.
I'm too vanilla to know what that is. What's a mom? You mean like she literally mommies him?
Maybe she, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, but
I'm not joking. Maybe she like puts him in,
he's into it,
in diapers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
I wonder if you were going to run for political office. I think at this point, you just put any and everything out there. All these people who try to hide it and cover it up, I think that's where you get into a lot of trouble, right? Is where you're, it's like, just, admit who you are. Nobody cares. And if they do, oh, well, you're not going to win anyway. but don't give them anything to uncover, right? Like if I ever ran for president, I would be like, yeah, I slept with some sex workers. Yeah. Here's where it happened. If you want to talk to them, get some tips on how good I was. Because they told me I was the best, and I believe them. Because they don't lie. I threw an extra.
Escorts with a heart of gold are real.
I threw an extra $5. I threw an extra $5 in there and said, "You better tell me the truth." And she said that you're the best one I ever had. But I'm saying I would just come right out with all of it, because then it's like, okay, you know what my stuff is. You like it, you hate it. Otherwise, it's gonna come out, and then you're gonna look like you're trying to hide shit. No, I don't think Becky would make sense for this show, Detective. I'm talking about another thing that we would do. Okay. Listen to this. Baby found in horrific home overrun with 41 animals and a rotting goat in the bath.
Oh my God.
8-month-old kid. I mean, at least they found the baby at 8 months old, and I'm sure the neglect is not going to help, but it's probably not going to be like, I'm sure it'll affect the kid, but now hopefully they'll be, I don't know, maybe the parents loved the shit out of the kid, but they just were hoarders, or they were really bad with housekeeping. I don't fucking know. But he's in the care of a relative. And this is what the house looked like. Look at this thing. House was contaminated with animal feces all scattered throughout the house. I mean,
oh God.
Oh no.
I mean, come on.
That's awful.
Man. But again, I have to assume that the person living in there knew about it and knew that this wasn't. Oh, I don't know what they assumed. I don't know.
They had to.
And maybe they felt terrible about it, and I don't know. But what kind of, I don't know. I mean, everybody's got their threshold, but this seems just horrible. Absolutely horrible. Let's see.
Yeah.
I've never encountered in 30 years of service such a horrific situation involving unsanitary conditions and such a large number. Oh, this is South Carolina, right below you there, Bunny. Large number of animals. 41 live animals removed, 25 dogs, 5 raccoons, 6 chickens, 3 cats, and 2 rabbits were in the home. And there was a dead fucking goat. Listen to this. 6 dead animals were found, including a baby goat stored in a Tupperware container in the kitchen. At least they put it in the kitchen. Look at these 2 sad motherfuckers. I mean, I don't know. I mean, they knew what they knew what they were fucking doing. I don't know if I can say. I don't really know that, but neither of them look like they're playing with the full fucking deck.
I like them.
If you ever got arrested and had a mugshot, would you try to make it? How would your mugshot? Like, would you go out? I guess it depends on how you're feeling when you're arrested, but you go. See, they'd let you go right away because they go, she's doing the magic look, and Tech would do this bullshit. Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, somebody says, "Is that Tech in the mugshot?" You goddamn right. Willie Farnsworth says this is a mental illness. Listen to this. Sanders described the animals as severely dehydrated, covered in feces, extremely emaciated. She added that the home's smell was so overwhelming that the ammonia burned our eyes. The home was unfit for any living creature, let alone an 8-month-old baby girl.
That's awful.
That's sexist. Did it matter if it was a girl or a boy? Whatever. She noted the animals are receiving care and expected to recover. Their emotional trauma will be harder to heal. Oh, my God, man. Look at this one. Those poor... What were they doing in there? The fuck were they doing in there? Now, listen. The parents, when they were arrested, they showed no emotion, no facial expressions. You'd expect some kind of reaction if your child was being taken away and police had discovered these conditions. But it was nothing. Absolutely nothing. They're out on bail. I mean...
I hate people. I just really hate people.
What do you think? What makes you this way? Do you think they're like... their brain is broken, like it's a developmental issue, or do you think something happened to them in their lives and they became this, right?
I would say probably drugs. I'm sure drugs probably played a role somewhere in there.
Yeah.
But I think, I don't know, some people are just so lazy that I think it turns into like a mental illness.
Do you
like
think
them just not wanting to do something and then they just don't do it for the rest of their lives?
Do you think they're lesser quality people, or do you think it's circumstantial? Like, do you think this could have been anyone if we had been dealt the same hand, or do you think it's a sense of quality of who they are as humans?
I think it's a sense of who they are as humans, because I've known a lot of people that, you know, have come from really, really shitty situations, and they still know how to act right. They still wouldn't hurt an animal or their own child.
Right,
like,
but were
so
they
I don't
but
think
were
that's an
they
excuse.
but were they raised by good parents? Like, they maybe had no money, but they had good upbringing, or they had a good influence.
Nah, specifically the person I'm thinking of is a girl that grew up behind me, like when I was little, and she got the hell beat out of her. Her family, they were on drugs for sure.
Okay.
And lived in a horrible little shack. Like, they didn't have nothing growing up. And she's like a great mother now. She has a good job. Like,
have you
did
talked
really
to her
good.
since? Did you figure out what it was that allowed her to get out?
I've talked to her.
So what do you think her
She just wanted better than what she grew up in. Like, she just wanted to do better. And I think when she, you know, found out she was having a kid, she really straightened up then, because she was going to make sure her kid didn't grow up like that.
So, okay, I'm just going to ask this. I know this sounds terrible, but let's say you're right. Let's say you can look at someone. I don't mean like just look at them, but let's say there's the science behind going. I saw this great video where this guy drew this curve that looks like this, right? And he said, you know, I'll put U, E, and E. So in the center of the curve is most people. There are people over here that are more evolved, and there are people over here that are under-evolved, right? Because we're all going to evolve as a species at different rates. He said, but this curve is always moving towards this way, right? So in 100,000 years, the evolved will be the unevolved, and will be over here, right? And so the question I have is like, okay, so let's say we could definitively prove that, and we could say, look, these people on your screen, they came to the earth and they are unevolved.
Yeah.
Do we put them somewhere? I mean, would you know, if they're not evolved, do you give them their own island? Do you do a check with the genes and go, yeah, you can't have babies? I mean, is it wrong to say this? Probably. It is undeniable that if we could look and breed out people like this, before they do what they do, we would have probably a better culture. Is that terrible to say? Probably, but it's also kind of true, isn't it?
Oh, I don't think that's terrible to say. No.
I think it's terrible to say.
I feel smart.
Why is it terrible to say?
Look, I think humanity as an experiment is like the assessment of how you deal with like the tragedies that come from like people who are not there mentally, and how you promote them. I mean, I don't know. I like human experience, even if you're like a stupid person. I want you to have a human experience. But and to say like, oh, let's cancel out those that probably wouldn't meet like a certain marker feels a little detrimental to the idea that like every experience is valuable.
Is it really fair for them to have kids and inflict that on their kids? I don't think that's fair. I think if there was a way to nip it, you know, from the get-go, that sounds great.
Yeah, but then you're like assessing like who deserves rights, who doesn't deserve rights.
Well, of course,
based on smarts.
Yeah.
Well, of course you're doing that. I understand it's rife with the ability to be corrupt and who gets to decide, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But if we can look at science, and let me just be honest with you, it doesn't help that they both look a little hillbilly inbred.
Oh, she looks, yeah.
And I don't know how much,
I
don't know how much of that plays a part, but like, you know, and I'm not saying this is some, you know, big jaw dude or some, you know, Chad or anything, but both of these people look like kind of pudgy, inbred, folks. And, you know, I don't know, maybe we should be breeding that out. We have laws against it already. Aren't we already kind of halfway there?
Mm.
Imagine the kid. How stupid is this kid going to be? Isn't that terrible to say?
No, poor baby.
I know.
This is sad. I know it is just. It really is just sad for the kids. That's
Agree 100%. All right. Well, speaking of, we'll come to that later. I want to show you something first, and then we're going to get to our top stories. But have you heard of this? I saw this on Twitter, and this thing sounds amazing, but it's probably bullshit. I've never heard of this. I'm not going to show you the whole ad, but I'll just show you like the first 30 seconds of it.
Nobody talking about how they randomly just banned this episode of The Tonight Show. Watch this next clip closely.
But I would wake up in the middle of the night like gasping for breath. Like I would wake up like, so I did like a sleep study, and they said I have sleep apnea. I don't know if you know, Jimmy. You're not a doctor.
No.
Very important.
It is one of the top most important things you can do.
So they gave me this machine. It's called a CPAP machine.
Oh yeah, I know that. It's a terrible invention, honestly.
That's not what this is about, but I would hate that people would be afraid of a CPAP machine. Mine has been a goddamn delight, but anyway.
And this is not a joke of any kind. The doctor said, if you wear this, will extend your life probably by like 3 years. And I said, you know what? After wearing it for a month, I said, I'm okay dying 3 years early.
Now pay attention, because isn't that the exact same thing that Steve Hardy was trying to tell us?
Sadly, not too many people focus on the cure. It's more about treatment than anything. But I had sleep apnea, not breathing 2-3 times a night, right? I started sleeping on a CPAP machine. Horrible. I hated it. It was just horrible. Because of this, I'm off CPAP. I don't sleep with that. I no longer take high blood medication. I'm rested. I'm sharper. It's just created a freedom for me.
So he was talking about his difficulty with his mouth breathing and chronic snoring, all because of a blocked nasal pathway, and says that difficulty that he had breathing was the root to his massive gut and all of his other health shit. And then
if he starts talking about breathing tape, I'm gonna punch him.
It's not.
Were natural remedies. And I know Steve isn't like a medical expert or anything, but I came across this product on Shark Tank that proves
breathing
what
tape.
he was saying.
It's not breathing tape.
Is our best seller. There's a base of menthol and peppermint in all of them. There you go.
I kind of want this now. I just want to try it.
It's really quite a hit. It enhances your breathing for sure. It's open you up.
This is what they were sniffing on. It's called a boom boom, and it's got.
Has anybody tried this?
Yeah. Well, anytime I've ever done party favors that go in your nose, I get one of those.
And tell me, is it worth getting just to try it? Like, does it really make you go, oh
it
my God?
It opens up your nasal pathway. Like you can take a super good deep breath or.
So it probably lets you have clarity, like even before a show like this, it would just be like totally brings a bunch of oxygen to your brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it
it does. It makes you feel awake for a second.
Is it dangerous, or how long does it last, or what?
It's like a 10-minute
thing. I think like Vaporobe even makes one.
Yeah, they do.
Like
It's like a 10-minute little thing. It makes your like nasal passages clear up. It like stimulates the the whole.
No, Granny, I know this is a promo. I'm not saying that we should just believe. That's why I'm asking.
Have you done smelling salts, Jaffe?
No.
Have you done smelling salts, Bunny?
Yes.
Yeah.
It smells like cat pee.
Yeah, it's just a huge ammonia hit. But I've done that before, like lifting before. Like that. What the fuck is on screen?
All right. Well, I just wanted to know. Okay, so I'm gonna pick this up tomorrow, and I'll do it on the show. But I'm very excited. I'm very excited to try this. By the way, again, if you guys want to do, if you guys are interested in having the cellar open tonight, let's get the chats rolling in. Let's get the donos rolling in, folks. This is I don't approve. And you know what? I refuse any money tonight. Tech will hate this. I'm not really gonna say it, but let's just say, if you like the show, let's get some new people supporting it. I don't like the fact that I love our hardcore donators, and I don't want them going anywhere, and we love you guys. But at the same time, help them out. If you love the show and want to see it continue, offer up some ducats so we can do our cellar show tonight. Thank you,
K-Nubs, for $100.
We appreciate it, buddy. All right. Go ahead.
But also, if you're a longtime supporter of the show, and you like to see us keep going, and you're one of those that drops the 50s, I love you, and I will kiss your kids when they're born on the forehead like the Pope. Oh. Did you know the Pope was carried away in a casket in the back of like a Ram, Super Duty? Doesn't that make you laugh, Bunny?
Yeah.
You're Southern, you get it.
The popes are just like us. The popes are just like us. Well, now I want to know what Adam says. Adam says, don't look at rewinds, chat. I don't know what the fuck that's about. Warped Eye, thank you so much for the gift of membership. We appreciate it very, very much. AAA says, since when is 99 cents $100? Since K-Nubs has taken over Doge from Elon Musk, I suppose. Okay. What you're looking at on the screen is one of our main stories tonight, which is very weird illnesses. These are all true diseases that people get. But they're all in the fucking mind. They are all in your goddamn brain. This is a disease that literally forces your brain to see other human faces like elves and demons and dragons and monsters. This is a real fucking malady that people have. I want to tell you about a couple of them, and then I want to play you a clip. Bunny has actually suffered. I believe it's safe to say, Bunny, that you have actually suffered from one of these, correct? That we're going to be talking about tonight. So are you guys able to see? Let me share my screen real quick.
Maggot Chan, I don't know what your message means. $2.
Warped Eye, thank you again for the other membership. We appreciate it. Maggot Chan, yeah.
Maggot.
Do you know
this guy?
It's a girl. That's my girl. It's my lady.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Maggot.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Maggot. Thank you, K-Nubs. We appreciate it very, very, very much. All right. Okay. So this is a real thing. Let me make it big for you guys. This is when human faces become dragon faces. We talked about this, what this fundamentally is. And this gets weirder and weirder to the point that there's one coming up that I kind of want to experience, even though I'm sure if I did, it would probably terrify the shit out of me. But this syndrome with the dragons is called demon face syndrome. There's 75 reported cases. We don't really understand it, but it has to do with how the brain fills in spaces of people's faces. Like when I look at when I look at Bunny's face, obviously, if I really stare at it, I can start to find the specifics. But our brain very quickly fills in all these gaps just for speed. So we don't have to really sit there and analyze everything. Well, that part of the brain seems to be damaged in the minds of people who suffer from demon face syndrome. That's one. Bunny has had this one. I'm going to play you a clip, though. This is called walking corpse syndrome. And it's basically, I don't even understand this one. People feel like they're dead or they are dying. There was a 43-year-old woman in 1880 that was under the delusion. She had no brain, nerves, chest, or entrails and was just skin and bones. She actually did die of starvation because she thought she was already dead and didn't need to eat. Turned out, that's how she went out. Bunny has had this. I'm going to play you a clip of a guy, and he's going to be a big part of tomorrow's show, this interview he did with Joe Rogan, because it is so interesting as it relates to some near-death stuff we're going to be talking about tomorrow. But as it relates to this, after he survived his actual near-death experience, he went on to, well, you'll see. So this is him talking about coming out of his experience, and they saved him in the hospital. They said it was a miracle that he actually survived. And the fact, hang on, let me bring it up real quick. I don't have it as I have it as a file over here. They said it was a miracle that this guy survived. And they said that, it was like, the way he described it was like lining up by chance 10 holes and 10 slices of Swiss cheese and then threading a needle through that hole. That was how rare this was that somebody could survive this. So he comes back home, and this is the experience that he had when he got back home. 1 second. For some reason, I put all my premiere videos in a folder called Madhouse Sounds. I don't know why, but whatever.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Here we go. All right, let's watch this clip. Jump in, Bunny and Tech, if you have any thoughts. And then we're going to talk about Bunny having this experience as well. I have questions. Here we go. Hang on.
I started to have the sense that I wasn't...
All right, this is him coming home now.
I started to have the sense that I wasn't really there and that maybe I had died, which sounds freaky, but apparently it's quite common in people that almost die that they're seized with this fear that they're actually a ghost and they didn't make it. I know it sounds insane, and you're right, but I can just tell you, like, I sincerely had that worry. It was the ultimate panic disorder, right? Like, that you're dead. Like, what is there anything bigger to panic about, that you're actually dead?
Right.
So, and the reason I had that, and this gets to another rather mysterious, slightly woo-woo part of this whole story, is that 2 days prior, I had no idea, obviously, that I had something that was going to kill me in my abdomen. I had no conscious idea. But 2 days prior, at dawn, my family and I, we still co-sleep, and so we sleep in a group on a pad on the floor, and we sleep as a family, the four of us. And so at dawn, on the previous...
I guess he shouldn't apply to be the future husband of Bunny, because there's no box spring.
Get a bed frame.
Get a bed frame.
Night, so 36 hours prior to almost dying, I was woken by this horrific nightmare. The worst nightmare I've ever had and I've ever heard of. And the nightmare was this, that I was hovering above my family and they were crying in grief. And I was waving to them. They were crying in grief that I died. And I was waving to them. I was like, I'm over here. I'm right here. I was shouting. I was waving my arms. And they couldn't hear me. They couldn't see me. And I didn't know why. And then I was made to understand, in the same way that my father communicated with me, it was just a sort of transmission of knowledge, right? I was made to understand that they couldn't hear me
because in the main thing about this is that his father appeared to him on his deathbed, or what he thought was going to be his deathbed. But again, that's tomorrow.
Yeah.
We'll deal with that tomorrow.
I'm a spirit. I'm not there. And I'm above them. And I'll be going now. I'm out. Mr. Younger, you're outbound and you're not coming back. It's too late. You can't go back. It's over. And I was so anguished that it woke me up, and I woke up I happened to be next to my oldest daughter, and I just like clutched her like a stuffy. Like I was like, oh my God, thank God. Because it really felt like I was dead. Thank God that was just a dream. I'm actually here. I'm alive, right? So then, 36 hours later, ooh, what's that pain in my abdomen? Off to the hosptal.
So that's what almost killed him, right?
Yeah.
Doctors have later told me, not the doctors who saved me, but other doctors who were honest with me, like, it's a miracle you're alive, right? Like, this isn't just, oh, good, well done. It's a freaking miracle. Like, 10 slices of Swiss cheese, 10 holes happen to line up, and you threaded the needle through those holes, right? Like, so I got back home, and I was super emotional. Every time I heard a siren, I'd start crying. Like, I mean, I was just a freaking mess, right? And then I thought, oh my God, I died in my sleep. That dream, because I started to read about NDEs, and one of the most common is that you're hovering above your family. Another is that you see a dead relative, right? So, like, oh my God, and I knew none of this, right? So, oh my God, that wasn't.
This is me talking over it.
That was my experience
for copyright.
Of actually dying, right? The kind of experience that many people who almost died and were resuscitated report having had. I was hovering above my family.
I'm going to keep going in a second. But by the way, and Bunny, I know you've seen this interview before. I thought I was just going to take the clip for the NDEs, and I couldn't stop watching it. It's such a good interview.
I know, it's fascinating.
And the guy, and tomorrow it's about atheists who have near-death experiences. Because this guy, out of everyone, he's like, I don't believe in any of this stuff. I don't, it's bullshit, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But he's like, I cannot explain this. And he gets into all the science and stuff. But anyway, yeah, it's a really good story, a really good interview. But he comes back home, and now he basically, well, you'll see. Yeah, but he thinks he's dead.
Mm-hmm.
And I died in my sleep. My wife woke up next to her dead husband. It's over. I just don't know, because I'm in the middle of a dying hallucination. I'm a ghost. I'm not here. I think my daughter's talking to me. I think she's on my lap. I'm not, bro. You're not here, man. You're like, just face it, right? And you can't disprove it, right? And if you're crazy enough, it actually feels like it might be what's happening. And I was plenty crazy enough for this, right? And I'm not a naturally neurotic person, but it turned me into one for a while, right? And at one point I went to my wife, like, honey, just tell me I'm really here, that I survived. We're here, we're good. Like, just tell me. She said, of course you're here. You survived, et cetera, et cetera. But my mind, I'm like, that's exactly what a hallucination would tell you, right? And I was inching towards madness.
Right. So now I have questions. This is a thing, though. It's called walking corpse syndrome. It's not, it's rare, but it's not so rare. It's not like the rare where you see demon faces. And what I'm curious about, it kind of reminds me of sleep paralysis, where it's like, okay, if you're suffering from sleep paralysis and you know what it is, even though I've never had it, so I can't speak with any kind of experience, it seems like I'd have an ability to go, oh, right, this is that, right? If I'm sitting here and I think I'm dead, like Bunny had an experience, she's going to share with us in a second, where you thought you were dead, my assumption would be that if you're dead, then why is everybody talking to you? Why do you drive through McDonald's and they say, can I take your order? But before you answer, can you tell, I know you've mentioned this before, but can you go into some detail about your experience with this? Because do you think you had this disease?
I think I probably had some kind of form of something like it. Mine's not exactly like his, where I had some kind of near death anything, unless, because this was a time when I was doing a lot of drugs. So I think it was probably drug induced. I wasn't like on anything when it happened, but it started with me just having this hollow feeling, like how you said, the woman that thought she didn't have any innards and stuff. It felt like that. It felt like I couldn't even feel my heartbeat.
But did you wake up one day, or did it just hit you when you were driving or something?
No, I woke up and felt that way. Like something felt off. Everything felt off and like kind of surreal. Feel like, that feeling where you feel like you're dreaming for a little bit while you're awake and you're just like, oh, this feels like a dream for a second. It was like that, but it never stopped. It didn't stop for it was probably around a month, maybe a little over a month. But I didn't go see anybody because I, was spending all my money on drugs at the time. But I wasn't on anything during that whole stretch of time. Like I didn't do it because I was, I thought I was dead. I was going through like some serious depression. But like people were trying to convince me that I wasn't dead. And it was like how that guy said, like I was thinking, yeah, of course you would say that. But I felt like it was my brain coping with me being dead. Like I came to the conclusion that everything I was experiencing that felt kind of off and weird and I didn't feel like I had innards, I thought that was just my brain's way of like coping with me being dead, or like my whatever.
So even when you told people you were feeling this way, they were like, no, you're fine. Everything's cool.
Yeah, you're crazy.
And no one said go to a doctor, or people did say go to a doctor.
Oh, yeah, people did. Yeah, but, I didn't do that. But I've always said if that, because I do have anxiety of that just like hitting again, because the way it just hit out of nowhere before, I've always thought like that could happen again. And if it does, I feel like I'll be more aware to know to like, hey, go see somebody. This ain't right.
Right. But don't see anybody.
At the time, there was nothing.
Until you come on the show, because we want to talk to you when you're in that state.
Yeah, of course.
But I mean,
have you never had a moment like this, Jaffe?
God, no. Where I thought I was walking around dead?
Yeah, like this is just the afterlife.
Okay, well, now you're asking two different things, right?
It sounds like what he's saying is like, maybe I died. This is like post-death experience.
Yeah.
Well, he was saying he thought maybe what was happening was this was his brain shutting down. And maybe there was some kind of comfort or something that he was giving himself as brain shut down. Maybe that's what's happening.
Yeah. Maybe that's the interpretation. My interpretation was that dream he had was his death, and that this experience he was having now was post-death.
Well, he thought he was a ghost, whatever that means. Whether he thought this was heaven or hell or death is just you wandering around feeling this way, he doesn't really go into. But yes, he was leaning towards being convinced that the night he floated above his family was not a dream, but it was a near-death experience, and he never woke up from it.
Yeah.
And
yeah, it's like his was triggered by reading what he read about near-death experiences, is what it sounds like.
Right.
That triggered.
Yeah.
But I have sometimes felt that this is hell. Like, and I don't mean that because, life sucks, blah, 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 I'm making a joke, but there's so much confusion and suffering here that maybe but I don't know. I've never walked around like what Bunny is saying or this guy is saying and felt that this is death.
I feel like I was dead for like, how long would that be? 6-7 years?
Emotionally, like, were you depressed or you're being metaphorical?
I thought like this was like, I had like maybe call it like a sneaking suspicion, like a overarching feel. Because I told you I tried to end it in like 2016.
Yeah,
and it didn't go through in like a weird way.
It did go through, and again, I'm a believer in that quantum immortality shit. So there is a universe where that bullet fired, or there was a bullet in that gun. Yeah. And this is one of the few universes where it made sense that you didn't. So there's certainly maybe is residual awareness of that time, but you were kind of shuffled into this part because that's the only place your consciousness could go because you didn't exist anymore.
When the idea comes up, it's like, oh, you're going through life with this feeling like, oh, maybe I did die already. Maybe this is like what post-death is. I felt that way for like, I was 26 years old. So
wait.
7 years.
Because you tried to off yourself when you were 21?
Yeah, I thought that maybe this is like whatever is after, and this is like this is the dream state or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Like I probably did die. Like more than likely I'm a dead dude.
Were you happy in those years or
no?
Okay.
Not a single time.
And you obviously, because you never talked to anybody about it.
No, there's no need. Because again, I like the whole mentality behind that part of my life was, I've come to this ultimate conclusion. I've made that final decision, and it didn't pan out. And so I lived my whole life from that point until about 2.5 years ago. I was like,
did you go through like I went through almost like grieving stages. Like I cried a lot, like crying for my family and like
whoa,
oh my god, my mom was like
when you thought you were dead.
Yeah. Oh, I cried like the whole time. I was so depressed. That was probably one of the deepest depressions I've ever been in. Like I don't know. I felt so sad for like.
Did your mom know that you were crying?
I talked to my mom about this, and she tried to get me. This was when I lived a little bit farther away from her. Like she tried to convince me to go see somebody and stuff, but like I was so in denial of what everybody around me was saying. Like I just didn't believe anything anybody was saying. Why would I go to a doctor if I think I'm dead? Like
I was in a different position in life. Like at that point. I had no like network of people around me, right? I wasn't like, because the TLDR, the short version, right? Never close to my actual family. My closest friends went off to the Marine Corps and were like thousands of miles away from me. And my like longtime partner at the time, like we had just separated. It was just me, like in an apartment in Vegas. It was like, go to work, come home, go to work, come home. I was like, oh, okay, well, whatever.
Yeah.
So when that day happened, I spent like 10 days not talking to anybody. I didn't call off of work. I just disappeared. And like work never called to check on me. No family. I was like, okay, I guess I am dead. Oh. It's like, whatever. So no, that whole time was like, it was like nothingness. There was no like pursuit for happiness. There was no trying to find out if this is real or not. I was like, well, I'm here. Let me try and contribute back as much as I can.
But okay, but when you were literally suicidal, there was a world that you were looking to leave because it was so painful. When the suicide didn't work and you continue, or at least your perception is it didn't work in this timeline, and you continued to live, when you thought you were dead, did you see any distinction between the world you were trying to escape and the one that you found yourself in for 6 years? Or did it just feel like your normal shitty life?
No, it was like it may sound weird to say. It was a very freeing experience, which don't ever think of it that way. But for me personally, it was like, oh, I no longer have to care about should I go and keep trying to get into like college or university.
Did you pay taxes?
Yeah,
during
I did.
those 6 years? Okay.
Yeah.
But why?
Although my tax rate when I started being successful was super, like, taxes for me was super nice because I did so much like charity stuff.
But why did you pay tax? What was your logic behind like paying taxes and stuff while also thinking that you're dead?
The idea was like, well, maybe I am dead. Maybe this doesn't exist.
Yeah.
But it's letting me exist for as long as I'm doing it now. And my whole goal in life from 19 to like 26 years old was like, let me help out as many people as I can in case this isn't real, or even if it is or isn't, like, I want other people to not be sad. So I spent all that time just let me find the most efficient way to get as successful as possible as quickly as I can. Let me get as much training as I can to like be able to do what I need to do for whatever. And it panned out well. Like I had like a nice career. I had like a nice, bit of income. I was doing nice things. I met some nice people, but nothing felt as gravitas like important in life. There was no need to pursue accepting other people's opinions, or I didn't have to like work for anyone specifically to like try and gain some type of perspective from them. So yeah, like the entire time I was like, maybe they're not real. And I really dove into like simulation theory at that point, which was another story. But
yeah, there are, I mean, that's a real thing too. There are people who have done awful things because they were convinced they're in a simulation. But okay, so when did you Bunny, it was only a month for you. So when did you wake up? Like, what was the impetus, or what was
2 years ago?
Well, no, your name's not Bunny. Your name's not Bunny.
I literally just like, I snapped out of it. Like, there was just one day where I was like, thank God that was over. I felt like relieved. I felt like I could
Did
feel
you just
things
wake
again,
up,
like,
or were you aware?
Yeah.
And then you woke up and it changed. It wasn't like you were driving.
Yeah, one day I just woke up and I called my mom and I was like, I think I'm okay. I don't know what the hell I was just going through.
And have
like,
you ever
I was
asked
aware of
a
everything
doctor?
that had just happened.
Have you ever asked a doctor since? Oh, you hate doctors. That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, some people in the chat were saying a lot of it
I did look it up.
Okay, and you just, some people in the chat were saying they had done salvia or something. And
Salvia,
and
sativa.
that made, not sativa, but it was
Salvia.
Yeah, and this
I
feels
was
familiar.
smoking salvia around that time, so I was doing a lot of stuff around that time. So it could have been a number of things. It could have been coke, Molly, a little bit of meth here and there. Like, it could have been anything.
Listen, I mean, April in the chat says, I tried doing this to myself in 2016. It was strange, and I also thought maybe I was actually dead. I wound up in the hospital after taking a bunch of muscle relaxers. I swear I talked to somebody. What do you mean you talked to somebody? Like a therapist, or you mean you saw visions or something? But in Tech's case, I really do. I've told this before, and I'm not going to get into details, but I've had a couple of situations where I felt like I had died. But I wasn't going around feeling like I was dead, though. It was, I had a moment, and I'm like, I just died there. And even before I knew what...
And you're on another path.
Yeah, I didn't know what quantum immortality was at the time. But I knew, I'm like, that was weird. That was not a near miss. That was weird.
Yeah.
And I've had that happen twice to me. So I think with in Tech's case, I mean, because think about the chances. Because all it was somebody forgot to load the weapon.
Yeah,
I mean,
to get in a little bit into detail about it.
Well, we don't get into. We want to move.
Just real quick. When I was like, oh, I'll finally just like do the thing. I had some friends that were more gangster than I am, and I was like, yo, I need a gun, and he was like, yo, why? And I was like, I live in a bad part of town. He's like, all right, I got you, and he gave me a gun. First time I ever held a gun in my entire life, and within like 7 hours of getting the gun, I was like, time to use it. Just no bullets. So I didn't know how to check a gun for bullets. I knew how to like I saw video games, like, do that thing. And then that's where we were.
What about this one? This is only, what's amazing about this one, and what's amazing about this whole thing is a lot of these maladies appear as society changes. So this one is called The Truman Show Delusion, where you are convinced that people are watching you and you are in a reality show. And obviously, before The Truman Show came out, this was never really a thing. There was paranoia and, oh, people are watching me, but it's gotten very specific. And then obviously reality TV comes along, and now we've got YouTube and Twitch or Twitter and cam girls and all this stuff. And it's like, well, there are a lot of people where you're being watched. I will say this, there are times, and I don't actually think this is true, but there are times that I go, am I simply sitting in a room, like in an asylum somewhere, or just in a room, just in some, some random little podunk town, talking and pretending I have a YouTube show? Like, and none of this is fucking real, right?
Could be.
I mean, I don't think that, like, I don't worry about that because I don't really believe it, but there are a couple times a month I'll go, wouldn't it be weird? Like in a movie, it would be so disturbing if at the end the camera pulled back to reveal it was just this guy talking to a wall the whole time and arguing and all. It was just like, it would be so funny but so creepy at the same time, man. But this is a real fucking thing. Listen to this. One guy walked into the FBI. He was admitted to the hospital. He thought his life was the Truman Show and 9/11 attacks had been fabricated. To prove his theory was correct, he traveled out of state to the World Trade Center to see if it was still standing. He had the delusion for 5 years. He only became aware of it a few weeks before he was admitted to the hospital. He demanded to speak to the director of the show, and he claimed that he had cameras embedded in his eyes. So, but my favorite one's coming up. But you guys haven't had this. I don't know anyone who's actually had this,
no, I don't think I could live with thinking I'm being watched all the time or I'm a part of a show.
When I was deep in like simulation theory stuff, I thought that only the area around me was being like processed. It wasn't until I started getting up to like, a higher level business, and I was like, I now have to fly to LA. I'm flying out to Portland. I'm going to Washington, D.C. Like when I started taking planes, I was like, okay, it'd be kind of cool if the computer could generate this quick. But,
Well, I mean, once you make video games or know how video games and 3D databases are made, it becomes very difficult not to see possible parallels about things being rendered. And then you kind of get into observation theory and things like that. But there's a great but disturbing documentary about the guy who lost his self when The Matrix came out. And he was convinced that every time somebody left a room, he's the one who shot up his family. He said when people left a room, in his mind, they were just standing around the corner in like a T-pose, like a video game T-pose, like it wasn't doing anything because it wasn't needed. So the model of his parents were just like, if the mom went into the kitchen, he in his mind felt that what she was really doing was just shutting down and standing there until she was needed again by the program. People be crazy. Or maybe they be crazy. I don't fucking know if they're crazy. I mean, these are not...
Yeah.
I mean, yes, they're crazy, but,
It makes me think there's got to be something in your brain that happens, like chemicals crossing or just something that makes it to where multiple people have the same experiences of stuff like this. Like, it sounds like people who think they're dead, their stories are kind of similar. Like,
right.
There's got to be something.
It's
happening.
My favorite one is this, though, and I wish I would have this happen to me. Because, did you ever see that movie, A Beautiful Mind, where the guy had, I think it was schizophrenia. Yeah. I think it was schizophrenia, but yeah, I do too. When he was seeing people, and it's based on a true story. But at the end of it, the way it was reconciled, if I remember, was he was just like, I'm never going to be cured of this, but I'm going to make peace with these characters in my life, right?
Yeah.
There's a similar one. This is nuts. Have you heard of this? It's called Lilliputian hallucinations. I mean, this is, it's the part of the brain where, you know, when we process visual information, we have to take into account distance, spatial awareness, sizes of things. Otherwise, I could be holding this pen in this Diet Coke can. This pen looking the size it is because my brain is processing it in a certain way to say this as it relates to this, as it relates to this. When that gets fucked up, people can have Lilliputian hallucinations. And here's
I've heard of this. Where things look bigger.
No, well, that's Alice in Wonderland.
Smaller.
That's Alice in Wonderland syndrome. This is very specific. They see an array of different characters, often merrily roaming the world around them and sometimes interacting with the person. They are about 8 to 9 inches tall. So they're like little action figures. And they can be one or two people. Some people were seeing people swimming in their tea and asking to drink their blood. There was one old lady who saw these like blue skin characters living in her cabinets and they like to watch her undress. Other people, they don't acknowledge the people and they'll just be like building towns in their living room and they wake up and the town has advanced a little bit and they're just, you're like watching a little,
crazy.
Yeah. And this is what's great. Listen to this. On average, they're 9 inches. Some people see a few, but some see hundreds of them, like soldiers. It says tiny men, women, children, gnomes, imp, dwarves, very strikingly dressed as harlequins, clowns, dancers, soldiers, peasants. And they were rendered in exquisite detail. It says the hallucinations were not harmless. They are harmless. It says 18% of all the people hallucinating with this become chronic and 8% of the patients died while experiencing them. But they're saying that it's probably not the hallucinations didn't kill them, of course. It's the fact that that was a sign something else was going poorly. But out of all of these we talked about tonight,
that's crazy.
I will fucking tell you that I would take this one. Because if I could know that this was utter horseshit, I would be like, awesome, right? If I could see
fun little time.
Huh?
It'd be a fun little time.
Yeah, if I could see like little Wonder Woman action figures like that I got back here and Zatanna action figures running around the house and shit, I'd be like,
yeah,
I'll take that mental. If I have to choose that or depression, I'll choose that every goddamn day of the week. But I've never.
You know what I would do?
No. Yes. No. I don't know.
I would test this out. I would take my little people and I would go play poker. And I'd tell my little people to go look at people's cards and come whisper the answers to me.
That is brilliant.
Yeah.
That is brilliant. But what? But now, if they came back and gave you the wrong thing, but you still probably would know they weren't real. I mean, I'd like to.
Or maybe I'd think I won.
Yeah. I'd like to think anybody who has this problem is smart enough to call a doctor and go, "What's going on?"
No.
Some people can live their whole lives with this. Sometimes it lasts a couple of days, a couple of weeks, a month. Sometimes it's your whole fucking life.
That's
it's
wild.
your whole fucking life.
We have $10 from K-Nubs.
Thank you, K-Nubs.
Shut up, Anthony.
Yeah, get him, K-Nubs.
But for real, I'm going to be taking a hiatus and just be a watcher. Time for a new generation of Jaffe and Bunny and tech fans to show their support, even with small donos.
You goddamn right. Thank you, thank you, K-Nubs, for all your great support. Let's put all that on the door. I don't know if we've got enough to spin the wheel tonight, Tech, but if we do, we should spin it because we're coming to the end of tonight's episode. We're obviously not going to be doing a seller tonight. Maybe we'll get the seller tomorrow. That, if you don't know, as a reminder, let me show you what that's all about. Where did that go? I want to show you guys. I love Bunny made a delightful little whimsical thumbnail. Where did it go? Anyway, what it is we go more than an hour after the show over in the Discord, taking phone calls, things like that. But only when the audience demands it. And tonight you guys didn't, which we appreciate. That maybe we didn't entertain you enough to want to keep talking. Maybe we'll hit that goal tomorrow. But Bunny, I know you've got some topics. 10 minutes may not be enough to cover them. Do you want to save them for tomorrow and lead off with them and tease them right now? Or is there one that you want to get into that maybe is, worth doing in a short amount of time?
I think we could probably talk about the mattress firm.
Go for it.
Theory. I feel like that one's simple because I feel like everybody's heard this. Now, at the time when I first experienced something, I had never heard of this, but after I did. Apparently, mattress firms are just big old cover-ups for money laundering, is what this theory
Mattress
is.
Stores in the neighborhood, right?
Yeah. Well, specifically,
mattress firm is the big one.
People named mattress firms. Yeah, because if you look at maps
when you're
of, like,
saying
where
firms, is that the name of a place or do you
Name of the company?
Oh, I thought it was just the fact that there's so many mattress stores, but it's Sleep Center. I didn't know it was specifically mattress firms.
Well, mattress firms, a lot of times they'll have like very close locations. Like they'll have two in, one little town
Walking
and
distance,
stuff. And that's what makes it so weird.
Right.
And I knew this guy a long time ago who his brother franchised a mattress firm, and me and my friend used to go in there all the time to see him, and there was never anybody in there ever, like no matter what time of day you went. And we would joke and be like, I think he's really just a drug dealer and he's using his mattress firm as a cover up, and like we would joke about that. And then years later I heard the theory about the mattress firm thing, and I was like, that's really interesting.
But has anything ever come out like, okay, mattress stores are a front for the mob or anything, or is it just a theory?
They've had to file for a lot of help and stuff, and they're like not doing good financially, but they still are open in places and multiple locations very close together. So it don't make sense.
It is weird to me that there are so many of these stores all on the same couple of blocks. Yeah. I would think maybe what it is, like we bought a mattress recently and it was like, you do want to compare, because mattresses are those things that you don't buy that often. And so it's like, maybe it's just good business. If you go to the one on the corner and you're like, I kind of like this, and you look across the street, let me go over just like car dealerships are all,
maybe.
Because it is kind of a thing. That's not a myth. That's not an urban legend. These mattress stores do kind of clump together,
to compete.
Well, and because I think they know if you're shopping for a mattress and that guy already has a store and you can see me across the way, it's going to be a lot easier and impulsy for you to say, fuck it, I'm going to walk across the street and try a mattress over there.
Yeah.
Then go, oh, let's get in the car and drive 20 minutes to get to the closest mattress store. So maybe that's kind of that and automobiles and things like that. Although Lel Calgoon says he knew a guy who was a mattress store owner and he was a crook. Could be that as well.
I mean, the guy that I knew, he was real, he was kind of like a slimy car salesman kind of guy. Like, he wore a lot of jewelry and he spent a lot of money, but you never saw anybody parked outside of his place. You never saw anybody in there. We would go in there multiple times a day sometimes because he worked across the street from the Hooters I worked at.
Just take American guys, right? I understand that Armenians and there's different cultures where that's kind of looked at as the norm. If an American guy dresses that way with the chains and all the cologne and the open shirt and all that, do you think they go out and go, I look good tonight, I'm going out?
Oh, no, they do. They really do.
And maybe
they look at themselves in the mirror a lot.
Do you think, are there women that go, oh, that's my kind of guy, and I just look at it and go, it's cheap?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Oh, yeah. That guy that I'm talking about, he was always going on dates. He always had really pretty, older women. He was an older man, but he always had, really fancy kind of women he was taking on dates. So, I mean, they're out there.
I don't know. I mean, I believe you. I
think that maybe the money he spent. I think maybe
it's the money. Local says that's my Romanian godfather dresses like that, and he got with half the town. Yeah.
Women love it.
Yeah. Oh God. Oh no. No. The point is, says April, my near-death experience was that I was talking to the dead. It made me think I was dead. Oh, I see. Well, again, on tomorrow's show, there are two, I was very, one is one is from the religious point of view, the near-death experience. The guy was an atheist, and he's the subject of a book, and I'll show you some clips from it. And he dies and has a near-death experience and comes back, and they talk. It's kind of a religious podcast, but it's sort of the religious take on what's happening. And then we're going to play some more clips from the Joe Rogan experience, where it's even after he had these experiences, he says, I'm still an atheist. But he says, I can't explain this. And he goes into all of the stuff in the brain, all the stuff almost that Tech was kind of pushing back on Ken a couple of weeks ago. He's like, yeah, I understand. The brain releases this at death. This happens at death. This, he's like, I get all of it. And it explains a lot of things, but it doesn't explain this. And so I'm looking forward to talking with you guys about that as well. It was really good. Electric says, was an atheist is your red herring. I don't understand. I don't understand what that means, sir. Okay, so let's see. We have 3 minutes left for the show, fellas. How do we want to wrap it up tonight? I can't hear you, Tech.
We technically have 18 minutes because we started at the 15-minute mark, but it's up to
you. No.
No.
Let's keep going then. Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. Well, where are we with the red door? Are we even close to getting... Where are we?
We're close.
Oh, we're so...
We're $59 in.
What is happening?
Oh, we could do it.
Nah, we can't do it.
Bunny, go ahead and ask the chat, Bunny, for some amazing donations from our supportive fans.
They don't. But before you do,
I can do it.
No. Before you say it,
they don't want it, and they don't want the documentary.
That's fine.
And
Let
they
Bunny
don't want
do
this.
it.
I know. I'm reminding them of what they can get in a fun way, Tech, before she gives the hard sell. Fun. I know.
Yeah.
Cooter.
Okay.
Good flap.
Money me.
Oh,
Money me now.
I like
now.
it. Oh.
Money me.
I like it. Noirbert, no, I am not Noirbert. Yeah, money, yes. Anyway. Okay. So let's okay, I'm not gonna dive into the near-death experience stuff because it's too deep of a topic. And I'm not ready to chat about it. But we can either visit with our friend the Internet Hobo this evening or maybe dive into the Denver airport. What do you guys think? What do you want to talk about tonight?
I think we still have Bunny say money me for like another 10 minutes.
I don't think so. I think figure out a way to make some money while I go get a Cliff Bar. When I come back, tell us. Don't
$2 from K-Nub says I'm summoning Mish or Canty right now.
Do not, because look, if our show is so poor, the only way we can get by is with a couple of people. We're fucked, and we should just shut the whole fucking thing down.
Do it, Bunny.
But that said, though, I'm getting a Cliff Bar, so I'll be right back. And then we got to decide, are we going to do the Denver airport conspiracies, which I know nothing about, or are we going to visit our friend, the Internet Hobo? I'll be right back.
Okay.
No, Bunny. Money me.
Money me. Money me now. Now.
Please.
Money me, please.
Thank you.
Thank you. Poor Jaffe.
Oh, he's gonna be so sad.
He's never had a thinking he's dead experience or nothing.
I think I'm dead right now.
Yeah, it could be. No. Oh, but you think if I act cute, if I do my cute face, the ducats?
Yeah. Drop them a little cute face there, Bunny.
It didn't work.
Honey, mate.
My cute face didn't work, Jaffe. I tried. Oh, you're muted.
Oh well, what are you gonna do? Okay. So what do we want to do? Do we want to do
Money Bunny?
Oh, I thought we're done with that. Are we moving on to Hobo, or are we moving on? Do a poll, Tech. See if the chat wants Internet Hobo or a new meteor topic.
What is next? Question mark. Big topic.
Thank you, Tracy. We appreciate that. Thank you for the cute little sticker, Tracy. That's not the same Tracy, is it? That's not Tracy. Because that woman is out of her goddamn mind. Thank you, Tracy.
Oh, she's nice.
I know, but she's still out of her mind. Oh, Bunny, you got the cute.
Thank you, Tom.
I spit everywhere. I'm an idiot.
That was cute, Jaffe. You got a cute face too.
Not that one though.
Yeah,
dude, I'm loving the popcorn popper I got for the movie Ace. I bought a whirly pop. Oh, It makes such good popcorn. It makes such. Tech, come on, man.
Okay, the cute face got me, says Tom L.
I know, but now look what happens.
Now people are going to think I'm going to dance for money.
And now they're going to...
her.
Jesus Christ.
Money.
Now we can't really tell.
Yeah, we can. Internet Hobo's still beating Money Me.
All right.
Bunny, what would have been your dance for Money Me? Cucaracha.
Oh my God!
Okay. I was gonna do the crib walk.
You can't see walk on this. You can't. You born redheaded, girl. You ain't see walking on nothing. What? Look at you.
I'm not born redheaded.
What the fuck are you?
Jeff is like, what the fuck is this even about? What are you guys...
I understood a watermelon crawl. Now I don't know what the fuck she's talking about.
Yeah, I'd have done a watermelon crawl.
Yeah,
that's what I've done. Y'all missed out.
Shot, who you talking about? All right, let's do the Internet Hobo. Looks like $500 from K-Nubs just to see Jaffe attempt the twerk.
Not happening.
Would you twerk for money, Jaffe?
He can do it. He wouldn't do it for y'all though. I've seen it. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Pretty good. Pretty good. All right, let's bring out the hobo. Let's see what he's got to say. One moment. Here he comes. Get your old bones out here, sir. Sing for your supper. Here we go. Where did that old son of a bitch go?
Suffer for us to sing. Hey yo.
Okay. Where is he? Hang on, fellas.
Driving down the road where you headed, you just don't know. But in the distance you see insistence. His eyes are all aglow. You will stop, you will look, and why, you just don't know. But my friend, you've just encountered the Internet Hobo.
Well, as we know, the Internet Hobo travels the highways and byways of the super internet highway, finding little stupid fun stuff for us to talk about. For example, now we've all seen the videos of the guy wrestling with the girl, and it's like, oh no, he's fighting two battles, blah, blah, blah. This is a new one, though. This is a new one. Check this out. Check this shit out. Let's see.
Wow.
I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. I mean, Now, unless that's his sister and his mom.
Oh, what?
Well, I didn't say it was. I'm saying because he's in physical therapy, I assume. So unless that's his sister and his mom helping him, I don't think I would be able to survive that little moment there. I mean, look at her. I'm just saying.
I think it would be worse if it was your sister.
Well, yeah, but then you probably wouldn't get aroused. Is what
yeah, I guess not. But it would be very awkward.
Well, we are from different parts. Well, no, I'm from Alabama. I should understand your point, but no, I would just say yeah. Speaking of, I promised yesterday I would show you guys. What do you mean? Why did I make it dirty? Because it's dirty in a good way. Let me get my mind out of the gutter. Everybody's thinking. Yeah, come on.
Third leg. Grow a kickstand and he'll be fine.
Yeah, goddamn right. Now, I promised I'd show you this yesterday. This is the plane that the military will not let, at least according to the video, will not let women fly. And here's why. It's kind of cool. It's kind of a cool story.
Why is this F-16 jet called the Lady Pleaser? It's because the female pilots love it a little too much. Let me explain. This specific F-16 has this distinct vibration in the pilot's seat, which happens at certain speeds. Some of the female pilots found this particular shake appealing. That pleasing little tremor is caused by a simple bolt right there under the pilot's seat working slightly loose. The brass loses their minds over any loose bolt in anything that flies. They think the whole thing's gonna fall apart instantly, and yeah, technically they aren't entirely wrong. So, maintenance gets the grumpy write-up, usually something like unwanted airframe vibration. They track it down, find the pesky bolt, and tighten it. Jet is good as new. Turns out some of the pilots figured out exactly which bolt causes the magic, and importantly, how to access it. So, after maintenance does their job, it doesn't take much work to just, ease that bolt off slightly again before the next flight. And then, surprise, the jet starts flagging for subtle vibration again and again. Fed up with the situation, the brass made a final decision. The lady pleaser became a guys-only jet. Why is this F-16 jet called...
I mean,
that's not fair.
That's not fair. It was one of the fucking benefits, I assume, but they had a big decline in female Air Force pilots. K-Nub says basically a ride on the Nubs Express. Yeah, I guess so. Let's see what else we got. Somebody sent me this and said Jaffe react to this. This is just sad.
Aww.
Well, it's sad.
Sweet puppy.
I know, but it's sad. Here we go. It says, my mom bought this robot online, this lifelike robot dog. And it's like, oh, this is what I wanted to get. And I have no reaction other than it's just sad. That's probably was from Temu, right? I mean, I guess you can get away with anything if you're selling it in China. There's no regulations. There's no, look how I would be so bummed. And some grandparent was like, oh, I'm going to get this for the grandbaby. It's so cute. It's a robot. She'll love it. And, if the grandbaby's like 2, probably. But, my God. Old people fall for anything. Fall for fucking anything. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know what to tell you on that one. All right. What else we got? I'll show that tomorrow. I was talking about this last night as well. This to me is pretty amazing. Like if the guy, and I don't know if this is like a bar thing, like a dating thing, or it was just his idea, like where he puts his number on a balloon and sends it over to this woman. But watch what happens, because, this one thing, this could have been the love of his life. He could have hooked up with that woman, had babies, and the babies would have been like Einstein's, changed the world, saved the world. But watch this asshole. Right? But I'm just, that one little thing, I'm always fascinated by that, those little ripples. Because the guy's just being a dick, right? But it could have been that woman. Could have been her. And it wasn't, because this guy blew it. What a dick. Like what? I mean, there's so much about this little clip that it's one of those things that I think there's so much sociological nutrition packed into this little clip, because it's about the fact that he didn't want the fat girl. It was the fat girl's birthday, even because she's wearing the happy birthday crown. Even on her birthday, she can't catch a fucking break, right? He wants the more traditionally attractive woman. And then look at this little dandy walking by. I mean, why is he, I don't know if he works there. He looks like somebody who should be in an a cappella group in the 1920s. Like, did he somehow, travel back in time or forward in time to prevent, like it's a Back to the Future thing, like to prevent these two from hooking up? Because look at his clothes. He doesn't fit in there. Yeah. There's a lot happening in this clip. Like, even to the point, I'm not doing a bit, if somebody were to say, there are little moments, kind of like anchor beings in Marvel, there are little moments in time where we historically one day will be able to look back and go, that was one, that was one, that was one. There's so much butterfly effect happening in this particular little 10-second clip. I genuinely think, I don't know, I'm very compelled by this clip. I'm very compelled.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different avenues it could have gone.
Right. And it could have resulted in children. Why don't you date a large woman then, Jaffe? I don't want to. I'm not saying out of these two women, I also wouldn't be shooting my shot with the one at the bar. I'm just saying that, you know, in this case, it was her birthday and she still couldn't catch a break. But that's a her problem. That's not a me problem. I don't think. I mean, maybe she's great. I don't fucking know. Anyway, I felt a lot. This clip moved me and affected me in a variety of fucking ways. The final thing I want to show you guys tonight is this is not staged, but just because it's not staged doesn't mean it's... I don't know what the fuck this is. Check this out. This is somebody obviously recording on a TV. Watch right back here.
No, I'm not going crazy. Watch. Again.
You see that?
You see that?
Yeah.
What the fuck is that? Here it comes. Look how fast this thing's going under the water.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, look, anything and everything can be staged, but this seems a pretty hard thing for a non-special effects company to fake. I mean, this is water-based physics layered underneath. It doesn't seem to be an easy trick to pull off.
No, I'm not going crazy. Watch. Again. You see that?
What do you think that is?
I don't know, because it's like not flowing with the... It's going against the current. Like, it's got to be something...
And it's going incredibly fast as well.
Yeah.
And, you know, there are those... You know, we talked last week about the planet that slammed into Earth and made the moon, and part of that planet is embedded in the Earth in octopuses, and a lot of people say there are aliens under the sea. That's where they are.
Yeah.
Maybe this is one of those fucking ships. I don't know. It could be the screen behind him and not the water, says One Pump Man. What screen behind him?
Because the guy's working on a green screen, right? He's not at the location.
Oh,
So maybe the green screen itself got folded in a little riffle. Like maybe someone's behind there with a finger going...
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
On the
just
news
created
set.
a shadow.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. I didn't say shadows equaled aliens. I just said you know, it's moving really, really quickly.
But to be fair, shadows do equal aliens. Okay.
Enfant says it's just an artifact in the broadcast. No, it's not. I know what an artifact in a broadcast looks like. Why would it look like that? I mean, I don't know what it is, so I'm not, okay. Look into fast movers, says Mining. It's what the Navy sub guys call fast moving unidentified objects they detect on sonar. That's what I was wondering what it was. But yeah, it could be Jesus as well. All right, fellas. Well, here's what we do know. That where are we at on the red? Did we get to the red door tonight, Tech, or no?
Oh, we made $3,000.
Shut up, idiot.
$73.58.
All right, that's K-Nubs, our rock star tonight. Thank you, K-Nubs. We very, very much appreciate it. Very kind, very courteous, very generous. We're back tomorrow, folks. Hopefully tomorrow we'll get that gold door open. We got a green door we want to open for weird-ass documentaries for next weekend. We have a gold door for the cellar. That'll start opening as soon as you guys want it open, where we'll spend an extra hour over in the Discord, turning on chat, all those things. But tonight, K-Nubs is the rock star. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Bunny. Thank you, Tech. Let's wrap it up, and we will be back tomorrow at 6 o'clock California time. All right. Be well, you guys. Here we go.
Doing a song?
Yeah.
Who want to do a song for? K-Nubs?
Yeah, let's go for K-Nubs.
All right. There once was a man with a lot to say. He had fingers so short that the woman can't play with his little K-Nubs when they put him in their stinker. Now they come and put him in their pinker. Bunny!
Oh, sweet K-Nubs, he's my little bubs, and I want to give him hugs and kiss his nose.
K-Nubs! K-Nubs! Living in my pocket.